Welcome back to Yankee Blue, the Chelsea FC fan channel run by yours truly. So Chelsea just had their their fourth preseason game against Udinese today, and as my first real video, I figured I would give you guys a bit of a match recap, give you guys my thoughts, and let you know how I'm feeling about the game. So, let me see here. If I could just find the notes that I had in this folder that I made. All right. Actually, no. First thing I wanted to do was talk about the lineup. I should probably have pulled that up before I started recording, but this is my first video, so so bear with me. Chelsea. Lineup. Here we are. All right. So the first 11 today was Edouard Mendy, Aspi, Thiago Silva, and Koulibaly playing in the back three. Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, and Alonso making up the midfield block, and Mount, Havertz, and Sterling actually playing with center forward with Havertz on the right today. That was the starting lineup, and personally, I thought that was very strong. For the most part, I think this should be our lineup for opening day next weekend against Everton on August 6th, I believe. So yeah, very strong lineup. I like the fact that Sterling was starting, that Koulibaly was starting. Just overall strong lineup. Pretty much most of our first team starters outside of Kovacic. And probably Chilwell at left back. It was interesting actually to see that Chilwell didn't get any minutes. I hope he's not injured. Didn't see anything on Twitter about it before the game though, so if someone sees this as my first video, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know whether or not I missed that Ben Chilwell was injured today. Next thing I wanted to go into is, alright, so now it's time for the match notes. Alright, so first thing, Kante was an absolute beast. That goal that he had, just powerful driving run. Typical, actually shades of the 21-22 season when we won the Champions League. That was a vintage Kante performance. Even, big added bonus when he can actually go and score goals himself. It was actually a very nice finish with his a weak foot. Tweeted about that. So very good job by N'Golo Kante. I thought he really ran the show. Was very influential on the defensive phase of the game, like always, winning a bunch of tackles back and making his powerful driving runs forward. Next, Sterling looked very lively today at center forward, and he was rewarded with what I wrote as an awkward goal, because it really was awkward if you look at it. He took the shot, and then I believe the keeper saved it, and then it bounced off of Sterling and went into the goal. What are you gonna do? It's his first goal. You can't really complain when they come. You saw he didn't really celebrate it. It's not really a goal worth celebrating, frankly. But he's opened his account for Chelsea, so that's a win for me today. I'm a big Raheem Sterling guy, as I will probably get into in later videos, because I'm really big on the human side of football. So what Raheem Sterling stands for as a person, and I'm a big fan of his. So yeah, so thought he looked very good today. Not only did he contribute with that awkward ass goal, but he also was very lively. Very good movement, dragging defenders out of place, giving goes with his fellow attackers, Mount and Havertz. Made a couple driving runs with the ball, a couple shots. Just generally influential on the game, like I wanted to see. It's really why the movement and things that I just mentioned is really why I was interested in getting Raheem Sterling, because because of his speed and just his ability to win fouls. And I actually heard earlier today that Raheem Sterling has drawn the most penalties in the history of the Premier League. So that's a massive win for Chelsea's attack compared to what we did last season. Even though we scored, was it 73 goals? We can definitely still improve on that. And I think having Sterling in our lineup will just he'll be a positive influence on the other attackers. They'll be able to learn from him, and I've tweeted this a couple times. Actually, I hope that Sterling he can teach some of our attackers to take people on one-on-one, because clearly that's what Tuchel wants from his forwards. And if you look at our tape last year, that's not what we were doing. So hopefully, big things to come from Sterling, and we can see his influence on his fellow attackers moving forward. All right, after that, Kalidou Koulibaly, K2, as I like to call him. K2 looked very, very good today. I wrote elegant and influential. Those are my buzzwords for him today. Big time. He was big time. Even though it's a preseason game, it's not that serious. You can just tell he's a graceful defender. He just reads the game so clearly. You can tell that he's just always on point. He knows what's going on. He's able to to just read the game and get in there and when he needs to. He had a very nice tackle in the second half against some player, I don't know, Udinese player. So it was a good tackle though, and good to see. He played well, and I'm glad. He's worth every penny, and I've been a big fan of his for a couple of years now. Another model citizen. That's a big plus, and I will be definitely mentioning that many times here on Yankee Blue. So yeah, Koulibaly was a big time performer today. My next note: attackers were just a little too unselfish today, especially Mason Mount. I thought Mount played very well, very lively, good movement. Not as sharp as I would like him to see with his passing in the final third. That was my major problem with him. Some of his decision making. Choosing to pass instead of shooting, and I don't know. I thought he played well. He was a typical Mason Mount, energy game. He goes back and forth and just puts his impact on the game. He did that again today, and he got his goal there towards the end off of a nice assist from Callum. And I was going to talk about Callum later, but I might as well just talk about him now. Yeah, he was. I wrote he looked relaxed and brave for once, because frankly, in the other preseason games, at least this offseason, I don't know what it is. It's like Callum's just focused too hard on working out. He looks like he's yoked a little bit. Like his back is definitely a lot stronger. But I think he's a little too focused on the weights and not as much on the pitch, because he just seemed too apprehensive. Frankly, especially in our first preseason game against who was it? Club America, and I don't know. I just haven't been impressed with Callum this preseason so far. So today was a good showing from him. Came on in the second half and looked lively. He was taking his players on again. That mentioned that influence from Raheem Sterling about the 1v1 take-ons. I think that Callum's already been watching Raheem pretty closely, and I'm someone that's watched a lot of the preseason content, so I've seen that. I've seen the way Callum has been looking at Raheem. It's just like almost like starstruck. It's like, I get to play with this, this guy that's been one of the leaders for England. So I'm sure Callum's very happy to be playing with a big star like Raheem Sterling, and he's clearly learning from him, like he should, because he needs to get better, because that. With his wages and the amount of impact that he's had on our success the last couple of years, he needs to step it up, because if not, we're going to be shipping him out pretty soon, in my opinion. Yeah, so talked about Callum, Mason. Defensively, we looked pretty solid, in my opinion. Built out of the back well. We did have that one mistake for the goal. I think that was more of a gaffe by Mendy than a breakdown defensively. I don't think it was that bad. We had there was a couple instances where on a couple breakaways, the Udinese defense was able to get in a shot quicker than I would have liked. But overall, I thought we impacted the game pretty well defensively. We held our shape pretty well. Jorginho was able to dictate the pace like he does. And when he does that, when Jorginho is really going, his metronomic style just kind of lulls the opponent to sleep sometimes, and then when we're able to just hold it down defensively. Thankfully, we actually scored 2 goals today. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, so defensively we looked kind of solid, just better overall defensively, less shaky than we looked against Arsenal and Charlotte for that matter. So yeah, so that was good. Defensively, I thought we looked great. Silva was okay. Alonso played. He was just Alonso, just okay, not really anything. Reese looked a little not a little rusty. I don't know. Reese just didn't look at it today. Today wasn't his best game. I usually keep an eye on him because he's such a damn good player, but today wasn't it for him. So this is what it is. Last thing, nice to see minutes for Harvey Vale at center forward. Interestingly enough. And Billy Gilmore today. I was always glad to see Billy Gilmore play, after he had those Man of the Match awards in his first couple appearances for Chelsea. Big fan of his, small guy. What did they call him? The Scottish Iniesta, I think. I remember seeing some of the nicknames from him earlier in his Chelsea career. So yeah, so those are my match notes. And then what do I have written down as the next part of this video? Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna try to put the names for these segments that I'm doing. The thoughts on the lineup was called the first 11. The match notes section that we just left was the Scout's Eye, because personally, I'm someone who watches soccer very, very critically, and I don't know. I consider myself an amateur scout. I just love watching soccer and analyzing players, and trying to retain information about them to see how they would possibly influence Chelsea, whether or not they would ever play for them. But we'll get into that later. But it's called the Scout's Eye, so that's what I'm calling it. I might change it. Who knows? Man of the match. The I'm gonna call it the Yankee Blue Star of the Match Award. So today's the inaugural Yankee Blue Star of the Match Award goes to N'Golo Kante. Just for his influence on the game overall. Again, he scored a goal. He was highly influential. He took a couple shots, won the ball back a bunch of times. Just vintage N'Golo Kante performance. Always nice to see. And being that he's the most talented player, maybe not the most talented, but offensively, that's not what I meant to say. Conte's our best player, I think, just overall. Not just going by FIFA ratings, but he's our best player on form, and given that he's not injured. So whenever he plays at his best, I'm probably going to give the match award to him. So fair warning for that. Next up, 10,000 foot view. So this is just going to be my overall thoughts and opinions on this particular fixture that I'm covering, and its context within this overall season. So being that this was the 4th preseason match, I know there's one, I believe, behind closed doors friendly going on tomorrow, I believe again in Udinese. So hopefully some of the players like Chalobah and Chilwell that didn't get to play today get to play tomorrow. Hakim Ziyech and Barkley and all those other guys that haven't been playing. So yeah, good wrap up to the preseason, I would say. Definitely a better performance, easier to stomach for sure, compared to the dross of that Arsenal game that was the other day. That was just terrible. Made me very sad watching that game. Yeah. So again, not too much to say. Just a solid performance, professional performance. All we could ask for really, going into the opening game of the season. Just good response from the Arsenal match. Really putting that weird penalty result against Charlotte to bed as well. Just that's it. We're the season's coming now. That's it. We have a week. I hope that we can at least look as in command as we did today against Everton next Saturday. So So I don't know. Not a lot of context considering it's preseason, but yeah, just a preseason game. It's the last major one that's going to be televised. So it's the last one we can watch. We'll just have to sit here and wait and hope that Tuchel runs the boys into the ground, because those boys have been vacationing a little too much this summer, if you ask me. But yeah, so that's it for 10,000 foot view, and then blue tinted glasses. That's the name of the last segment here. Let's see. Just bought these from shadyrays.com, actually. Free publicity. I don't really care. It's my first video. But yeah. Blue tinted glasses. So this is just, this segment is designed for me to just give my thoughts about how Chelsea emotionally impacted me. Not emotionally impacted me, well, kind of. I'm a sheep. I love Chelsea more than most things in life, frankly. So it has a big influence on my day. Just putting it out there. And today Chelsea was a positive impact on my day. Had a good time watching the game. Made my first couple videos on the YouTube channel. So Chelsea's had a very positive impact on my day today. So that's good. And hopefully you know, anyone watching this, Chelsea had a good impact on your day. You know, it's always nice to see our team win. Yeah, that's it. Feeling pretty good. So that's it. Wrapping up the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Feels weird to say that after seeing so many YouTubers say that over the years, but yeah. So if anyone sees this, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me for 17 minutes, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.